Another day, another story. The History of Artificial Intelligence, AI, a survey of important events and people in the field of artificial intelligence, AI, from the early work of British logician Alan Turing in the 1930s to advancements at the turn of the 21st century. AI is the ability of a digital computer or computer-controlled robot to perform tasks commonly associated with intelligent beings. The term is frequently applied to the project of developing systems endowed with the intellectual processes characteristic of humans, such as the ability to reason, discover meaning, generalize, or learn from past experience. For modern developments in AI, see Artificial Intelligence. Welcome to Taboo Eminent Channel. Alan Turing and the beginning of AI theoretical work. The earliest substantial work in the field of artificial intelligence was done in the mid-20th century by the British logician and computer pioneer Alan Matheson Turing. In 1935, Turing described an abstract computing machine consisting of a limitless memory and a scanner that moves back and forth through the memory, symbol by symbol, reading what it finds and writing further symbols. The actions of the scanner are dictated by a program of instructions that also is stored in the memory in the form of symbols. This is Turing's stored program concept, and implicit in it is the possibility of the machine operating on, and so modifying or improving, its own program. Chess at Bletchley Park. Turing illustrated his ideas on machine intelligence by reference to chess, a useful source of challenging and clearly defined problems against which proposed methods for problem-solving could be tested. In principle, a chess-playing computer could play by searching exhaustively through all the available moves, but in practice this is impossible because it would involve examining an astronomically large number of moves. Heuristics are necessary to guide a narrower, more discriminative search. Although Turing experimented with designing chess programs, he had to content himself with theory in the absence of a computer to run his chess program. The first true AI programs had to await the arrival of stored program electronic digital computers. Garry Kasparov playing against Deep Blue. Garry Kasparov playing against Deep Blue world chess champion Garry Kasparov, left, taking a pawn in the opening minutes of a six-game, six-day chess match against IBM's Deep Blue computer in Philadelphia, February 10, 1996. Feng-Xiang Xu, right, the principal designer of Deep Blue, keys a move into the computer. The computer, capable of computing 200 million positions per second, was powerful enough to be comparable to Kasparov in its level of play. Kasparov beat Deep Blue 4-2 but lost in a rematch the following year 3.5 to 2.5. In 1945, Turing predicted that computers would one day play very good chess, and just over 50 years later, in 1997, Deep Blue, a chess computer built by IBM, International Business Machines Corporation, beat the reigning world champion, Garry Kasparov, in a six-game match. While Turing's prediction came true, his expectation that chess programming would contribute to the understanding of how human beings think did not. The Turing test in 1950. Turing sidestepped the traditional debate concerning the definition of intelligence by introducing a practical test for computer intelligence that is now known simply as the Turing test. The Turing test involves three participants: a computer, a human interrogator, and a human foil. The interrogator attempts to determine, by asking questions of the other two participants, which is the computer. All communication is via keyboard and display screen. The interrogator may ask questions as penetrating and wide-ranging as necessary, and the computer is permitted to do everything possible to force a wrong identification. For instance, the computer might answer, "No," in response to, "Are you a computer?" and might follow a request to multiply one large number by another with a long pause and an incorrect answer. The foil must help the interrogator to make a correct identification. A number of different people play the roles of interrogator and foil, and, if a sufficient proportion of the interrogators are unable to distinguish the computer from the human being, then, according to proponents of Turing's test, the computer is considered an intelligent, thinking entity. Early milestones in AI. The first AI programs. The earliest successful AI program was written in 1951 by Christopher Strachey, later director of the Programming Research Group at the University of Oxford. Strachey's checkers, drafts, program ran on the Ferranti Mark I computer at the University of Manchester, England. By the summer of 1952, this program could play a complete game of checkers at a reasonable speed. Evolutionary computing Samuel's checkers program was also notable for being one of the first efforts at evolutionary computing. His program evolved by pitting a modified copy against the current best version of his program, with the winner becoming the new standard. Evolutionary computing typically involves the use of some automatic method of generating and evaluating successive generations of a program until a highly proficient solution evolves. Logical reasoning and problem-solving. The ability to reason logically is an important aspect of intelligence and has always been a major focus of AI research. An important landmark in this area was a theorem-proving program written in 1955-56 by Alan Newell and J. Clifford Shaw of the Rand Corporation and Herbert Simon of Carnegie Mellon University. The logic theorist, as the program became known, was designed to prove theorems from Principia Mathematica, 1910-13, a 3-volume work by the British philosopher-mathematicians Alfred North Whitehead and Bertrand Russell. In one instance, a proof devised by the program was more elegant than the proof given in the books. English dialogue. Two of the best-known early AI programs, Eliza and Perry, gave an eerie semblance of intelligent conversation. Details of both were first published in 1966. Eliza, written by Joseph Weizenbaum of MIT's AI Laboratory, simulated a human therapist. Perry, written by Stanford University psychiatrist Kenneth Colby, simulated a human experiencing paranoia. Psychiatrists who were asked to decide whether they were communicating with Perry or a human experiencing paranoia were often unable to tell. Nevertheless, neither Perry nor Eliza could reasonably be described as intelligent. Perry's contributions to the conversation were canned, constructed in advance by the programmer and stored away in the computer's memory. Eliza, too, relied on canned sentences and simple programming tricks. AI programming languages. In the course of their work on the logic theorist and GPS, Newell, Simon, and Shaw developed their information processing language, IPL, a computer language tailored for AI programming. At the heart of IPL was a highly flexible data structure that they called a list. A list is simply an ordered sequence of items of data. Some or all of the items in a list may themselves be lists. This scheme leads to richly branching structures. In 1960, John McCarthy combined elements of IPL with the lambda calculus, a formal mathematical logical system, to produce the programming language list processor, which for decades was the principal language for AI work in the United States, before it was supplanted in the 21st century by such languages as Python, Java, and C++. The lambda calculus itself was invented in 1936 by Princeton logician Alonzo Church while he was investigating the abstract Entscheidungsproblem, or decision problem, for predicate logic, the same problem that Turing had been attacking when he invented the universal Turing machine. However, this lack of progress may simply be testimony to the difficulty of AGI, not to its impossibility. Let us turn to the very idea of AGI. Can a computer possibly think? The theoretical linguist Noam Chomsky suggests that debating this question is pointless, for it is an essentially arbitrary decision whether to extend common usage of the word think to include machines. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.